women's reactions is a knee-jerk reaction to how we've always been for a long time. That's how men have been, black men especially. You can go right back to colonial times. You can say whatever the reason is, they break up with the family because of slavery, whatever the reasons are. The bottom line, black men have been doing this for a long, long time, and black women now are starting to do it. But maybe black men should turn around and say, well, we're going to stop doing it now, because now we can see it. So the other halves of us are doing it as well, and the whole race is breaking down now. So maybe we should take the lead.
Do you think it's going to have an impact in the future? Kind of, do you think that more and more people will continue to get married, or marriage will stop? Kind of, we've got single parenthood.
Marriage is on a decline now anyway. Single parents is now in the ascendancy. It's the norm. Most people you talk to now don't turn around and say they're married. Most people say, I've got a kid. Are you with the girl or are you with the guy? No. Who are you with now? But that is the norm now.
Coming up on that point, it's just like another thing. I just underline what Orlando just said here. When you meet a woman these days and she's got a kid, the probability of her living with the dad, or the dad even being around, is so minimal. It's a little bit, especially in our culture, the daddy's this, daddy. Oh.
A lot of women out there may have children, maybe on their own with their children. Does that make it harder or put more pressure on you to have a relationship with that person, knowing that you might have to take on, I don't know if it necessarily take on responsibility of the child, but you may feel you have to kind of...
Well, if you take it that most girls above a certain age, say middle 20s, have now got a child. The chances are that with most girls that you're going to meet are going to have a child anyway, so that's just a prerequisite of starting up a relationship. Obviously, in an ideal world, if you haven't got any kids, you want to meet someone who hasn't got no kids either, so you're first one together. But it's not an ideal world, and that's how it is. We just have to deal with it. That's the real situation is. Most girls and most guys have already got kids, so most relationships that are starting up now are going to start with a family already there, one place or another. So.
Yeah, I don't see it as a problem. And if a woman, what a lot of men and the women fail to realize sometimes is that the person had a life before they met you. So, if you like them for them, you just have to accept them for what they're coming with. It doesn't necessarily mean you're not daddy to their kids, but, if they've got kids, for me, it doesn't really make a difference. In many cases, I'd say it can balance a woman a little bit more when she's got a little responsibility like a child. Sometimes they're a bit scatty before they actually have this child. I tend to find women with kids can be more grounded, know what they're doing, a bit more objective. If they weren't in uni or working before, they're certainly working towards them. So no, I ain't really got a problem with it.
I've got a son. So a few years ago, before I had my son, I was of the opinion that I want a woman. At first it was like I wanted women without children. Then I went through a stage where I didn't mind women with children because I thought they're not going to want any sort of commitment, But now, like Orlando said, once you're over 25, a lot of women you'll meet will have children. And so, again, it's just a prerequisite of starting a relationship, and it doesn't make any difference, really. Again, they're not expecting you to be the father for their child. Their child knows their father. They've got an independent relationship with their father.
What if they haven't? If there's no father figure in the scene at all?
Well, that all depends on the mum, really, because some mums will be still want to play the father and the mother role.
Do I take it your father as well?
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know. You're not with my mum?
No, I'm not.
How hard is that for you, being a kind of man, being a father and not necessarily being there every day and kind of? I don't know. I'm assuming that you're not there every day and kind of being put in that way.
I do the best I can. I speak to my kids all the time. I see them more or less every weekend. If I don't, they know why I'm not. Daddy's busy, he's doing his thing. It's not ideal. I wish I was married and settled down and with my kids, but you know what? At the end of the day, sometimes, situations arise and you have to be the man that you are and address them. I think it's better. I don't think it's right when couples stay together for the sake of kids and they're not happy, argument, fight and all that other stuff. Just because the kids are. I think it's worse. It's better you be honest about things. If you're not that way inclined and you're not going to go forward objectively, then leave it and make sure that the kids are the priority. And that's the thing with us. It's cool with us because the kids are the priority. And as long as the kids stay the priority, and women, one thing I can say, and a lot of women out there might like flinching, but what I've tended to find is when women have a problem with a man, they can often bring it down to the kids and these little things they do that bring the kid into play, where the kid gets the worst end of it, and sometimes you have to isolate. Right? Me and you might not be getting on, but to keep the kid out of it, well, you can't see him this weekend, or little silly things.